A pair of jeans, a shirt or two. We didn't pack as if we weren't going back. It doesn't matter if it's true. I've got a feeling love will give us what we lack.
What's up, guys? I am so incredibly happy to be back after this virus, back to work, back to doing what I love, back to talking fitness. Real quick, I'll give you a rundown of just kind of like how that all played out with me, right? So I actually got the virus way back in like April, May, so months back. I had a pretty bad case of it then, so I had a really hard time breathing for about a month. If I just like laid down and did absolutely nothing, I was okay. But if I stood up, if I tried to go for a walk, I was just gasping. I felt like I couldn't get enough air. I had the soreness for about a week. I never lost my smell. I never lost my taste. Never really had any of I didn't have a headache or anything like that. I was just exhausted, so I couldn't really do anything. Out of breath, right? I didn't train for probably 6 weeks, maybe even 2 months. So I definitely didn't go to the gym. And when I did start getting back into training, I was just doing little workouts at home, just trying to kind of build my stamina back up. So fast forward to September, I started feeling sick, and my first thought was, all right, I definitely got the flu. My nose was starting to get congested. I had a really bad headache. Just was not feeling good. But it was whether I thought I kind of thought it was a flu, but it was also allergy season where I'm at. I'm in Illinois right now. The weather was kind of starting to change, a lot of different things. So then one night, kind of bad. The next night, I didn't get a second of sleep. My back, my shoulders, my neck just hurt like crazy. They were so sore. And I hadn't done anything to cause that, so I knew it was because I was sick. So I got right away that next day. I went and got a test. I was scrambling, trying to find one. They're not easy to find in Illinois. And it's a me issue, but I cannot sit in my car in one of those gridlocked testing sites for like 4 hours. My anxiety can't handle that. So luckily I went to a CVS, I got a test. That would have been probably like a Thursday. That following Monday, I got my results back and I was positive. I was shocked because I'd already had it. I thought, obviously I'm the farthest thing from a scientist, but my thought was, well, I probably can't get this again. So I definitely let my guard down. I was still wearing my mask, still socially distancing. So, I rarely leave my home other than to go work out and to go get groceries. So, maybe once a day I'll leave the house, but I rarely even see other people. So I was shocked. By the time I had gotten the results, I had been pretty sick and I already felt like I was starting to get a little better. My exposure, I would guess, by the time I got my results was probably maybe 7 days, 8 days away. And my symptoms had already, I'd already been having symptoms for probably 5-6 days. I don't know if that timeline even adds up, but I'd definitely been having symptoms for probably 5 or 6 days by the time I got my results. So I started to be on the back end of it. The second time around, I think maybe a month ago you were hearing people get it the second time, and it was like a 1 in a million thing. It seems to me like you're hearing more and more people get it, and it's less of a story. But my second time around, I would consider myself really lucky because I had a way more mild case than my first time. So the first time, I would say I had a pretty bad case of it. The second time, in a completely different case, I definitely did not have it for like 4 or 5 months. But that second case wasn't as bad. However, the second case, I had a lot of mental side effects from it. So once I started feeling better physically, oddly enough, I started getting other side effects that I didn't get the first time. So I started getting headaches pretty bad, and then I started getting pretty bad anxiety. Anxiety and panic attacks are something that I've dealt with in the past, but it's been years since I've really struggled with them. I have very specific triggers for them now, and I just avoid those triggers. So I'm lucky I don't really deal with it. But for about a week, I was pretty sick, didn't feel great. Then once I cleared quarantine and was able to kind of get out and start doing things, it was like I re-entered society for the first time, and it was like I didn't know how to feel. I hadn't had any face-to-face human interaction in 2 weeks. So I started having panic attacks, and I started having really bad anxiety, and I I just like, I couldn't function through the day. And it was tough because I'd already taken, 4 or 5 days off work. And I think that was probably part of my anxiety. It was like, well, I can't take more time off work, but I'm also not functioning mentally. So that was a real battle. So I did start taking some different supplements to kind of support my mental health. I also worked with my doctor to kind of get a game plan going. So now where I'm at right now making this video, I'm feeling a lot better. That's why I'm kind of able to reflect on a lot of this. But yeah, it was no joke. There was probably a 2-week period where I probably had at least one panic attack every single day. And, I tell this to anybody that's never had a panic attack. You're lucky, first of all, but to no fault of your own, you would probably never understand it. To other people that I've talked to that have had panic attacks, you don't get it unless you've had one. And that's okay. I always appreciate people trying to understand it, but there's no way you can understand it unless you've felt that, like a true panic attack. I mean, you are convinced you are dying. It is like impossible to breathe. Your mental, like I can't think through it. Like if somebody asked me when I'm having a panic attack what 2 + 2 is, I don't think I would be able to even like formulate a sentence to answer that. Like I'm so deep into it. But doing better now, doing a lot better now. And I did get back to the gym. So today is Friday. My first day back to the gym was Wednesday. So I'm just getting now around to watching the film with you guys, kind of talking through how I'm feeling. So yeah, I've got my laptop right here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the videos and just kind of watch them with you and give you some of my thoughts. The first thing I actually did, I got in and I just walked down an incline for 10 minutes. I normally warm up in one way or another anyways, but I kind of wanted to see where my cardio was at. Gone. Like absolutely gone. I had gone on a couple walks actually before I got into the gym, and they felt okay. But I walked in the gym, I put the treadmill on a 10% incline, and I think I was only at like 3.5 miles per hour, which for someone with long legs isn't that fast. I was gassed, just no cardio stamina. First lift I did is I loaded up a back squat. You can see I'm wearing a hoodie, a hat. It was probably 75 degrees in this gym, but I just wanted to stay warm. I actually really wanted to try to sweat some of this out, with just any toxins I might have, whether from medications I had taken or from the actual virus. So you can see I really just focused on tempo. I knew this wasn't going to be one of those days where I was going to come in and hit a back squat PR. I wasn't even trying to do anything like that, but I wanted to get in good tempo, good reps. So I did 135 for a set of 10, and then 2 sets of 10 at 185. I just made sure I got a good set out of it, really pushed that tempo, but 185 is a weight that when I'm healthy, I could probably get into the bar and do 30 reps once. I'm not going to do that for a bunch of sets, but so it's not a crazy weight for me, but I really focused on that tempo and just got good work out of it. Man, so that's a lingering symptom I've had. I can't smell anything still. It is starting to just very, very faintly come back. Like if I just shove something in my nose, I can kind of tell what it is. But I've been having, I don't want to say heart palpitations, but like my chest has been pulsing, and I hope it's not my heart. I think it's just like one of my pecs, but yeah, they're just like pulsing, and I don't really know what's going on there, but yeah, those are the lingering side effects I have, so kind of concerning. And then the mental health stuff, I think I really turned a corner. Obviously, mental health is not linear. It's not like it's just like, oh, I'm bad, and then I feel good, and then I'm the same forever. It's going to come and go. There's going to be ebbs and flows, but I've definitely turned a corner. I feel considerably better. I couldn't have recorded this video a week ago. I could barely put together 5 sentences or get out of bed. So, yeah, I don't know. As far as like long term, I think we're all going to find that out, and especially with me now having this twice, we'll see. But, and who knows, this could be one of those commercials in like 40 years where it's like, if you or one of your loved ones has been affected by the coronavirus, you may be entitled to compensation. Maybe I'll be that lawyer, I don't know. But, so I was able to load up the bar with a little more weight. I'm going to say this like 15 times during this workout. I'm not trying to like max out on anything. I'm really just trying to get in there, create some tension, just get some type of workout. But I felt okay. I felt better than I expected to, honestly. So great tempo here. The reason I jumped back into a leg day, I had kind of debated this in my own head. Leg day is going to be a little more taxing, and I thought maybe, why don't I just go in there and do some arms or something like that. I definitely have lost a little bit of muscle mass in the past, really a couple months. Probably last like half year. So coronavirus, our business has really grown, so that's taken up a lot of my time. I've been working probably 80, 90-hour weeks every week for the last 6 months. We brought on new trainers. I've been onboarding them. There's just a lot of different things going on. So my workouts have been okay. My eating has been not great. And that's where I'm going to need to lock in next once I'm feeling just mentally up to that. But with my focus being to try to maintain the muscle mass I already have and then build more, I wanted to jump right into a leg day, right? Your legs are going to be responsible for 70% of your additional testosterone. And what I mean by that is, if you're just constantly skipping leg day, you're not going to have nearly as much testosterone as you'd naturally be producing. So your body's not going to be able to grow how it should or how it could. If your goal is just overall muscle growth, your main focus should be legs. You should be hitting legs as much or more than anything else. You should be hitting them harder. You should be focusing on your leg days. As a tall guy, I'm never going to have the craziest legs. I'm never going to have just these massive quads or anything, right? But if I want to grow in other areas of my body, I've got to lock in on those leg days, and I've got to make sure those are consistent. So that's why you'll never see me skipping a leg day. If anything, you're going to see me adding some in. So next, I jumped on the leg extension machine, and I actually supersetted this with a calf raise. But I got on there, and I did a unique variation. So I did single leg, and then I actually turned my toe. I wanted to get different angles of my quad. So I did 3 sets of 20 of these. So the first 10 I did regular, and then the second 10 I was turning my toe. That's one thing that a lot of people miss with weightlifting. With resistance training, everyone seems to kind of do things in one plane of motion, but our body has multiple planes of motion. So even just like a subtle angle shift here by turning my toe, I'm going to be hitting a completely different strands of my quad that are not the focus in a regular leg extension. And that's why, if you've ever had some of my programming, you might go from a back squat to a front squat, not sporadically, of course. There's going to be consistent programming, but throughout, let's say you train with me for a year, you're going to get some back squats, you're going to get some front squats, you're going to get some goblet squats, you're going to get some safety bar squat. You're going to get all these different variations because your body needs that different stimulus. If you just got under a bar, and this wouldn't be the worst exercise. If you just got under a bar and just flat bar bench pressed forever, never did any other variation of that, that's great. If your goal is to grow your flat bar bench press, it's probably going to grow. It could grow more though if you were supplementing that by hitting different angles of your chest, letting your chest fully develop. So from that leg extension, I supersetted that with calf raise. What I did is loaded this up, and I did calf raise double pumps, 3 sets of 10 here. So you get up about 80% of the way, pause, and then finish it even past a little more past where you would raise your heel on a calf raise. So it just gives you a little extra work. Not like any crazy science behind that. I actually picked that up off of probably a YouTube video I watched years ago and kind of fine-tuned it. So see, down, up, and then finish the top. Big key here is you're not bouncing off the bottom, so I want to see a pause at that bottom. Even try to really get an extension, get a good stretch of that calf. Up, pause, finish it. So really good work on the calves. I was surprised only 3 sets of 10 of those, and I actually could feel my calves a little bit the next day, so I got some good work there. So then after this set here, you'll see me, I did 1 set of 1 rep of cleaning this shit, because it's not someone else's job to clean after me. I'm actually pretty serious. If you're going to the gym and you're using things, I don't care if you're sweating or not, I don't care, whatever. If you're touching something, clean it. Like pandemic or not, clean up after yourself. It's disgusting. I don't want to get on some piece of equipment that your sweaty ass just got up, used, probably coughed on, you probably haven't showered in a few days, because if you're not cleaning up after yourself, you probably don't shower and you're probably nasty like that. I don't want to use that after you, and it's not my job to clean up after you. I think that's probably even more rude than the people that use weights and then leave them wherever, or use a piece of equipment that don't put it away. If you use something, like a bench, a machine, like literally anything. Just wipe it down real quick. It's not that hard. Every gym is supplying that stuff. It's not like you're like having to go buy paper towels or buy fancy cleaning supplies. Like they're literally already there. Just clean up after yourself. It is not that hard, and it's not like that. Is just like the lowest level of just being a decent human. Like I'm not asking for credit for cleaning up after myself. Like it's literally just what you're supposed to do. So please do it. Thanks. So after that superset, I went upstairs and I did a quick ab superset. So 3 sets of each of these. The first was a hanging oblique knee raise, and this was weighted. So I held a weight between my toes, lifted up my knees, but then got an oblique twist in there. Just a good variation of a hanging knee raise. You'll see me really trying to fight off any swinging. Try to get good extension at the bottom of the top. At the very bottom, I'm not fully extending because you'll see I'm too tall to. But I just try to kind of pause down there and then get back up. You got to do it the best with what you're working with. So then I supersetted that straight into a dip position knee raise, and this was weighted as well. I used a 15-pound dumbbell for both of them. And what I did is you're sitting there in that dip position, you're trying to stay as still as possible, and then you're just raising your knees by using your core as the primary mover. Something I probably could have done a little better is kind of had my chest more open. I let my shoulders round forward just a little bit. That's going to put pressure on that shoulder joint. So you want to roll those back, right? But all in all, two good movements of superset. I think at this point I was actually starting to feel a little bit better. I think just kind of getting back in there and getting back in that routine and being, in my happy place, I was feeling better. Definitely was exhausted more than I would be 30 minutes into a workout, but I felt good, at least mentally. And I think I went into it in a great mindset where I said, you know what, I know I'm not going to go in there and be anywhere near as strong or have as much stamina or look as good physically as I did before coronavirus, before my case of it, right? But because I went in with that mindset, I didn't really have any expectations. I just wanted to get in there and get it done and just improve. So I was really happy with that and really happy with how I approached that. Last exercise I got here is a Dumbbell Rdl. And again, I finished off with 3 sets of 10 here, so you're kind of seeing a theme. It's like probably the most simple rep range you can use. Not the best video angle, sorry about that, but you're bending slightly your knees, you're pushing your butt back, you're keeping your back flat as you go down. I went down relatively slow and then tried to explode up, squeezing your glutes to the top, creating that ugly butt, right, by Capone! Capone! No. Hey! No bark. Good boy. Thank you for keeping me safe. Thank you. Yeah. We get the next one? I'll get this one, okay? Good boy. Yes, you'll see. So from relatively slow down, pulling it back up, squeezing your butt at the top, creating that ugly butt. Just think like you've got a wedge and you're just squeezing it, or I think you got like a quarter between your cheeks and you're just squeezing the hell out of that quarter. So great exercise for the glutes. Things to focus on. You want to keep that back flat. You want to keep, as you come up, keep that chest up, keep your shoulders rounded back. You don't want your back to arch forward. Whether you're holding dumbbells or you're using a barbell variation, you want to make sure that you're keeping that back flat and that you're really focusing on pulling up with your hamstring and your glutes. Your back should not be doing the majority of this work, even though you're bending forward. So this is my workout. It took me with that 10-minute incline walk all of 45 minutes, and I didn't even have the greatest tempo going through it. But that was my goal. Wanted to get in, get a workout in, nothing crazy, and get out. All in all, I am feeling a lot better. Again, I filmed this workout a couple days ago, so now I'm a few days after, and each day I felt better, and I would say now I'm probably 90% of myself. Let's see, my first symptom would have probably been 4 weeks ago. So, this is my second time having COVID. So, it's something that we should be taking very seriously. I don't have any of the answers to anything, but, I think just continuing to take it seriously, respect other people, because, I was, full transparency, I was pretty embarrassed that I got it again. I think it comes off as lazy. It comes off as like, oh, he just doesn't care, or oh, he's just living recklessly. You know, if you knew me, I mean, I work all day. I don't get out. I don't see people. I haven't eaten at a restaurant, and I couldn't even tell you the last restaurant I ate at. You know, I don't go out. I hardly, like, I live a pretty boring life, which I love, but the reason I say that is it's not like I'm going out and living recklessly. But because I had gotten it, I probably did let my guard down a little bit. Didn't do those extra measures, you know, cleaning things right after someone else had touched them and you saw that they didn't clean it, you know, those kind of things, right? But I will say once I got it, and I'm pretty proud of this, as far as I know, I didn't give it to anyone else. You know, I'm living with other people right now. None of them got sick. I took my quarantine very seriously. I waited even a couple of days after the State Department had called me and told me that when I was done with quarantine, I still quarantined an extra 2 days because I had some lingering symptoms and just figured better safe than sorry. So I think that's how people should approach it. You know, if I'm not going to tell someone not live their life, right? But you've got to keep other people in mind. You know, this isn't, if everyone is selfish and everyone's just thinking about themselves all the time, we're not going to get anywhere. But if we're living our lives to some extent with other people in mind and caring for each other as a whole and as a community, you know, I just think we could go so much farther and do so much more. So those are just my thoughts. You know, I very, very clearly have little say in any of this, but I think that's Alexa telling me to stop. But awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys. If you watched this point, thank you so much. If you haven't already, I would love if you subscribed. If you have, thank you so much. I've got absolutely nothing else to offer you except for these videos, but no, I'm just kidding. If you've got questions, if you want to talk fitness, you're always welcome to slide into my DMs on any of my social networks. They're all open. I love talking fitness, love talking goals. So I'm always here. Drop me an email. You can find that wherever. I've even got my phone number on my website, so I'm pretty easy to contact. I appreciate you guys watching this. Stay safe, stay healthy. Wash your hands, clean your equipment. That's all I got, so thank you. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. That's pretty cool. You should try another one.